Hello everybody and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are as always your hosts Arne and Carlos, and what are we doing today?
We are back with one of the revisited episodes where we are going to be doing it differently. So I'm going to be teaching and Arne is going to be interviewing me. Let's see how that goes.
But first we have to remember that if you like the videos, put your thumb up. If you don't like it, put the thumb down.
Because we like engagement.
Of course. And remember to subscribe and put on your notifications.
And why should they put on their notifications?
Because if you put on your notification, you get like this bling.
And you never miss an episode.
You get like a message. There's a new video coming.
Yeah, so
and
you
never know. There can be a video in the middle of the week.
Yeah, you never know. Usually we post on Sundays at 6 p.m. Central European time. But sometimes we may post a video on a Wednesday.
And maybe we have something really important to tell you, and then you have the notification. So
because you don't want to miss it.
Yeah. So what are we doing today, Carlos?
Today we're doing a very quick one. We're going to increase the way we do it, which is a very simple, straightforward, no frills kind of way. You've seen it before from Arne, and Arne has this kind of story that he tells. I don't know if I can tell it because he might slap a copyright lawsuit over me because, you know, he's got his way. But anyway, can you tell the viewers about the mother and the grandmother?
Yeah, because like if you think about the stitch on the needle, that's the daughter. The stitch under is what we call the mother. So when we increase, we go and lift one of the mother's legs up on the needle. Then we put the needle through that stitch and we pull out the new baby.
Yeah.
So that's twin sisters on the needle.
Yeah, so that's Arne's way of telling it. I am a little bit more minimalist in terms of how I explain this one.
It's better when I do it live because then I actually show how to pull out the baby.
With his body.
My body.
Yeah.
Tells the
Today we're gonna be doing it just with the needles, and I just want to recap a few things that I've been teaching you, and it has to do with ergonomics. Try to relax your hands. You are not falling off a balcony that you're holding on to for dear life. You're holding on to some knitting, and you should do that gently. So remember, take the knitting with your left hand, put it comfortably in your hand and close your hand, but don't do this, you know, don't do that, because then you get tendinitis. Release and try to keep it gently in your hand. When you are going to start your knitting, what you want to do is with your left hand, you want to take your left index finger and your left thumb, and you want gently to pinch the right needle. This is your resting position with the yarn going over your index finger and anchored by your other fingers. This is how you hold the yarn, remember, or the needle and the yarn, and remember, relax your hand, don't tighten it. Keep it like this. In resting position, and then when you knit, you take your right hand, put it on your right needle, you take your thumb and you move your thumb to your left needle. Your left index finger should be resting more or less near the right hand needle. This is ergonomically a much better way to knit, and you will definitely feel your muscles relaxing. Probably not in the beginning. In the beginning, when you try something new, you're going to have a lot of other problems and you're going to feel very tired in your hand. But once you start getting the hang of the Norwegian knitting and the Norwegian purling, it's going to be much better. So that's the recap. Now I'm going to do a knit. Remember, thumb goes to the left needle. I take my yarn, I take my needle, and I take my stitch. I pull my stitch towards the yarn, and I go under it like that, and I release it.
And I have to say, like, some of you might have seen the Norwegian slow TV when they have the knitting, like 24 hours of knitting or something. And they show different increasing on that program. But if I remember correctly, our way of increasing wasn't one of them.
No.
So this is a different way of increasing.
And our way of increasing is very straightforward and super no frills. You know, you don't need to do any purling, you don't need to pick it up and do this and this and this and that. You just take your needle, you take your right needle, you go to the stitch below the one where the stitch is on the needle, you grab that like that, pretty much right in there. You take the stitch, you lift it onto the needle. Usually I'll put my left thumb in between the stitch that is and the stitch I'm lifting. You release it and then you go in and you knit it as you would normally. So it's super easy to do this increase. So let's do it again. You go to the stitch below, you harpoon it like that, you take it, put it on the needle, release, and then go in from the normal way and knit like that.
So that's an easy increase.
Easy, no frills,
and when you
don't have to do anything.
No, and also when you have done this for many times, like after a while, you will probably stop lifting the leg. You just go straight into the stitch after a while.
Yeah.
But when you have fewer stitches on the needle, then it's always easier to start increasing while lifting. But after a while, you probably would go straight into the mother leg.
Yeah, this kind of stitch will give you a nice seam. It will create a beautiful defined seam. It's very good for when you knit things on the round because it doesn't make any holes. But we find that this is the quickest and the easiest way to increase any time. As Scandinavians usually are very well known for being very efficient, this is ergonomic and efficient knitting at its best, in our humble opinion.
And so, for many years, I didn't know there were any other way of increasing. I thought that was the only way.
So let's do a quick recap before we finish. You go down to the stitch below, the one that is on your needle, harpoon it like that, just like that. Take it, lift it onto the needle, release, and then go in and knit it as you would anything else. Super easy, super quick, no frills, and the perfect stitch. Okay, here I just did a couple of pearls.
And what more can you say? Like when we teach it, when we travel around the world, don't you agree that people are very happy with this way of increasing?
Yeah, once we teach them this way of increasing, we get a lot of satisfaction from people because it's easy, because it's no frills, and because they learn it immediately. Remember, harpoon that stitch, lift it on the needle, and then knit it as you would regularly. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
So if you get into this way of knitting, all the things Carlos has shown you now, it will probably change your life, and after a while you will wonder, why didn't I do it like this before? Because it's so much easier. At least that's what people tell us when we teach them.
Yeah, that's true. And remember, now we're offering you 2 ways of learning it. You can learn it the Arne way, and there are videos on knitting, purling, and increasing on a YouTube channel, or you can look at my way of doing it and then learn the knitting, the purling, and the increasing. It doesn't really matter which way you learn as long as you learn. The most important thing for you is to find some enjoyment in the way you learn it. So maybe one way will be easier than the other. We're not saying that his method is better than mine or mine is better than his. It's just 2 different points of views, and we hope that you enjoy doing it either way.
And the result is always the same.
Yes, and it's the end result that counts. And the way to get there should be as relaxed as possible. You need to lower your shoulders, hold your knitting in a comfortable way, and just do it the way you find it best.
And please let us know if you try this and you find it not comfortable. Please let us know what you think about it. And if there's other things you want Carlos to show you, please let us know. Yeah. Because you can show.
I can show a couple of more things.
And I can knit.
I mean, after 5 years, it's time that I do a little bit of the teaching. Yeah. Now, I wonder if you're going to be doing a little bit of the cooking.
I knew that was coming, but that won't happen.
Of course it will. I'm sure that everybody wants to see Arne's cooking things, don't you?
I almost burned down the kitchen once when I made popcorn.
Well, we won't be making popcorn on our channel, but there are other things you can do. And I'm sure a lot of people would love to see you cooking as well.
Okay.
Anyway, this is just a quick recap of the knitting, purling, and now the increasing. So we hope you have enjoyed it. We hope that you got something out of this, and we look forward to seeing you with new episodes again. So thank you so much for watching, and see you again next Sunday at 6 p.m. Central European Time.
Bye.
Bye.